All right. Well, hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Thomas Egan. I am one of the assistant directors of admission here at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, Boston. With me today are three of my fantastic student panelists, so I'm going to turn it over to them to introduce themselves. So go ahead, Henning. Can you tell us your name, major, and what year you are, and where you're from?
Yeah, of course I can. My name is Henning Anderson. I'm a second year in the pre-med health studies major, and I'm from Swansea, Massachusetts, where I'm currently studying remotely.
Excellent. Thank you, Henning. And McKenna.
Hello, my name is McKenna Berry. I'm from a small town in upstate New York called Verona. I'm a nursing major, and I'm in my senior semester of school, so I'll be graduating this May.
All right. And what year is that, McKenna, for everybody out there?
That is your third year of the nursing program.
That's a question that will be answered too. Thank you, McKenna. And finally, Angie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angie Kim. I'm a fifth-year PharmD student from Seoul, South Korea. This is my last didactic semester, and starting this summer, I will be on rotations until I graduate.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you to all three of you for joining us and for giving us that information. So we are going to jump right into the questions right now. So the first one is for Henning and Angie. So we're going to start with Henning, and then Angie, you answer second. So what is it like being a college student in Boston? So take it away, Henning.
Awesome. So being a college student in Boston is such an amazing experience. If you guys don't know, Boston is just full of colleges and college students. I believe there's a statistic that about 25% of everyone in Boston is a college student. So it's actually amazing that we get to just go around, meet other students as well. And there are so many different opportunities. So we can go out and have fun when we're not studying. And also there's a whole bunch of other places to get jobs, internships, volunteering. So it makes it a great experience, not only in the college life side, but also professionally and after graduation as well.
All right. And Angie.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Henning. Boston has a lot to offer to college students, whether it's undergraduate or graduate students. There's so many museums. For example, our school is located right next to Museum of Fine Arts, which is one of the most famous fine art museums in the New England or in the United States in general. We're also right next to Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. We have Museum of Science not too far away. There's Contemporary of Art Museum. I love art. So I've been to all these museums. There's so many parks nearby that we can really enjoy, especially during this time where school is a lot online. There's a lot of restaurants of so many different cultures that I've tried since I've come to Boston. So it's great to live in Boston as a college student.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you both for those answers. So the second question is going to go to McKenna. So McKenna, can you describe what the first week of school is like on campus at MCPHS?
Yes. So the first week when you come here, for me, I'm not from the Boston area, so I just kind of wanted to get used to the Boston lifestyle and kind of just go and explore. So I brought all this stuff up to my dorm room and then kind of just hit the Boston area immediately. And then when I came back to the dorm room, I would say that kind of just get organized. And when classes start, it's just kind of about getting your syllabus ready. Your professors know that you're coming right out of high school, so they're super lenient and super just like there to help everyone. They're not going to be these super strict, like, you need to do this and that. They know like where you're coming from, and they want to help you. So I also just connected with friends prior to showing up to campus. So I got to meet those friends when I got to campus during the first week and just kind of see what MCPHS had to offer, clubs, sports, anything like that to kind of get involved. So that was the first week of campus.
All right. Thank you, McKenna. We're actually going to stick with you for this next question. And then Angie, you're going to answer this second. So McKenna, what activities are you involved in at MCPHS?
So I'm actually although I'm a nursing student, I'm in physical therapy club. I'm also in nursing club. And then pre-COVID, I did intramural basketball, field hockey, and we did that with the Colleges of the Fenway, which is like a consortium of colleges nearby, and you get to play sports with them. So although MCPHS doesn't have their own sports teams like D1, D2, or D3, you still have the opportunity to play club basketball or field hockey, or and it's a great way to meet friends as well. So I have friends from the surrounding colleges through those sports I was able to do. So that was really great.
All right, excellent. And now Angie.
Yes, so I currently serve as the president of American Pharmacists Association, Academy of Student Pharmacists at MCPHS University, which is the largest pharmacy organization, student organization in the nation and on campus. So we get to plan a lot of patient care projects so we can reach out to our local community. We educate our students at MCPHS. So it's a great opportunity that I have at MCPHS. I also serve as mentors to underclassmen pharmacy students by being on ROCI and Phi Lambda Sigma Pharmacy Honor Societies. Besides that, I played the violin since I was very little, so I really enjoyed continuing playing violin at the Colleges of the Fenway Orchestra for 2 years. Now we're completely remote, so we play orchestra virtually, so that's really fun. I'm also part of the School of Pharmacy Honors Program, where we get to learn and practice our presentation skills, publications, research skills outside of normal classes.
Excellent. It sounds like you two are not lacking for anything to do, and that is so awesome to hear. I'm learning more and more about you as I host it, so fantastic. So this next question is for Henning. So Henning, how would you describe the community atmosphere, and do students have to live on campus?
Oh, this is a great question. So I think the MCPHS community is a big pride point for many of the students living on campus as well as off campus as well. We come from a very diverse campus, which is definitely amazing. But I think the biggest fact about the community is that everyone is interested in healthcare. We have a comprehensive healthcare university, and that places us in a unique point where everyone wants to go into very similar fields, and everyone has very similar mindsets in that sense as well. Because of that, things could get competitive, but I feel like it really doesn't. A lot of the professors and the university itself definitely inspires a team-based approach to not only academics, but also the learning and stuff. So there's so many study groups. Everyone likes to have fun, and everyone really helps each other in the sense that we all just want each other to achieve our goals and help everyone as healthcare professionals. That being said, the second part was, do you have to live on campus, I believe? And that's not the case. There are a lot of commuter students. We're a big commuter school. However, you can live on campus if you want. And I say if you have the means and the facilities available to do so, I would totally do it. The experience on campus is unrivaled because you meet so many people and you build so many lifelong memories.
Thank you for that, Henning. And to add on to that, we actually housing is guaranteed for all incoming freshmen. It is totally up to you whether or not you live on campus, though. So it is guaranteed, but it is not required for incoming freshmen. Okay, so this next question, it's a long one for Angie and Henning. So actually, Henning, we're just going to stick with you right now. So can you describe the part of Boston where MCPHS is located and some of the activities you participate in the neighborhood? And the second part, is the campus area safe? If you need me to reread them, go ahead.
Awesome. I might have to take you up on that rereading part in the middle there. So MCPHS is in a great location. We're located on the Longwood Medical Area, which puts us in such close proximity to so many of the best hospitals in the area, as well as in New England and the whole country. That being aside, talking more about the fun stuff, we're so close to Fenway Park. If you guys don't know, we're part of the College of the Fenway, which is a 5-school consortium between schools all located near Fenway Park. It opens up so many opportunities. We can go to Red Sox games. We can go to any of the entertainment facilities or restaurants nearby Fenway Park, like the House of Blues, or even the Target is one of my favorite places to go. It's 3 stories, and it's truly an unrivaled experience where I leave with so much stuff I did not need at all. But in addition to that, I think as Angie mentioned at the beginning, we're so close to so many museums. At MCPHS, as an MCPHS student, we can get into the MFA as well as Isabella Stewart and Gardner Museum for free. So you can go at any point, at any time to see whatever exhibit you wanted. So I know last year, I think second semester, there's a Jackson Pollock exhibit. And I'm a big Jackson Pollock guy, so I just loved going to that museum, seeing a couple of pieces of art, and then studying in one of the cafes. The second part was if the campus was safe.
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. And yes, it is. We have amazing public safety at MCPHS. I've heard very little about like crime or anything, and the surrounding area is very safe as well. Being part of the College of Fenway, it means that our campus is touching colleges on every single side. So when you walk out the gates, you're immediately on a different college's campus. So it makes it a very safe area around. And then our public safety steps in, and they're amazing individuals. And they have a lot of opportunities to meet with them and actually talk to them. Like an event they hold, like I think every other week, that's like Coffee with the Cops, where you can go and you can have coffee and a donut with them and just chat, and they're amazing individuals.
Excellent. Thank you, Henning. And Angie, for you, would you like me to reread the question, or are you all set?
Was the first part, where is MCPHS located?
Yep. And then what are some of the activities you could participate in that neighborhood?
Yes. So as Henning mentioned, we are located in the Longwood medical area. There's so many amazing hospitals that people all over the world, healthcare providers, future healthcare students want to come to Boston to work at these locations. They include Brigham and Women's Hospital, Dana-Farber Joslin Diabetes Center, Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. I actually got to do volunteer as a pharmacy assistant at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center when I was only a second-year student. I wasn't even in my professional year. So that was amazing. Fenway Park, as Henning mentioned, is right just a few 10, 15 minutes walk from here. And that's actually where I got my COVID vaccine this Monday. So that was an amazing experience. Being next to so many great hospitals, I got to do my hospital pharmacy practice rotation over winter break at Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital in Charles River. And it's over at Cambridge, so I was worried, like, how am I going to get there? Because I have really early morning shifts. And it turns out, because all these hospitals in Boston are connected, I could just take the bus right in front of my apartment directly to the hospital. So that was amazing. So those are some activities I've done. Is the campus area safe? Absolutely. As Henning mentioned, because there's so many campus polices, there's so many hospital security guards that are located. I would say Boston is one of the most safe part of Massachusetts in general. It's a very safe area. There's a lot of college students, so absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Angie. And to add on to the safety aspect of it, because I know people worry that we are in a city and we're an urban campus. It's as urban as you could get. However, Henning mentioned it. There are 5 schools that we are connected to. So you can literally walk 500 yards without leaving a college campus. On top of that, each of those colleges has their own police force. So that is the Wentworth Police Force, Mass College of the Arts, Simmons Police Force, Emmanuel's police force, and our police force. Then there is a Longwood medical police force to patrol the area. And on top of that, since we're in the city, it is the Boston Police Department. So as far as safety goes, there's cops and there's emergency vehicles 24 hours a day, which may annoy you for sleep, but it is a very, very safe campus. And I always like to stress that. So thank you, Angie and Henning, for that. So on that note, mentioning the area and where the school's located, this question is for McKenna. So McKenna, what is the Longwood medical area and what is its significance to the healthcare industry? And the second part, what opportunities has going to school in the Longwood medical area offered you?
Hello again. So as Henning and Angie mentioned earlier, some of those hospitals that are in the Longwood medical area, I'm just going to touch on them again quickly. So it's a very well-known place in medicine in the United States in general. Some of the top hospitals are located there. So we have Boston Children's Hospital, Beth Israel, Brigham and Women's Center, and then there's just a lot of branches off of those hospitals that are centers that are either geared towards cancer research or stuff like that. And then just being near or really in the Longwood medical area, that most of the hospitals are teaching hospitals, which means that they welcome students to volunteer, to do internships, to do paid and unpaid internships. So that's really nice to be able to send an email or even walk up to the front doors and ask, are there any internships programs here? Who should I contact and all that stuff. As well in the Longwood medical area, there's Harvard Med School. I know that in one of my classes freshman year, our teacher took us over to Harvard Medical School, and we got to go into the library. And there's a lot of just historical contents in that library, and we got to look at. So that was really cool. And all just being, like Henning said earlier, I believe, in a medical centered school. And then in addition to that, a medically centered area. So it's really great for all of healthcare professionals to kind of grow up in Boston and learn your studies in Boston, and then branch out from there. You're kind of starting in the epicenter of healthcare, and then see where it takes you.
Thank you, McKenna. And it's funny you mentioned Harvard, because I believe that some of our students, depending on the programs, actually have access to the Harvard Cadaver Lab. Is that correct, student panel?
Yes, I believe so. Not nursing in general, just because we don't do cadaver labs, but I believe that some of the PA students do.
So another perk of being in the area. Awesome. Well, thank you, McKenna.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I apologize. I muted myself. Thank you. So McKenna, we'll just keep this on you, but this question is for all of our panelists. So McKenna, why did you choose MCPHS?
So I always knew I wanted to be a nursing major. I've known I wanted to be a nurse since I was pretty young. And they have the accelerated 3-year program, which not many colleges have, which means that you'll get a bachelor's degree in nursing in 3 years instead of the normal 4 years. I also loved it's in the Longwood medical area. Some of the, like I said earlier, the top hospitals are here. It's a great place to be. I love cities, and Boston is just the perfect size. New York City is a little too big, and then some other cities in New York are a little too small. So this was really a perfect fit for me. And then when I stepped foot on campus, I kind of just had that aha moment that I knew I wanted this type of school, and they really seemed to have this academic support that I really looked for in a college. So.
Excellent. Thank you, McKenna. And Angie, could you tell us why you chose MCPHS?
Of course, Tom. So I chose MCPHS because it is a health sciences centered school, which means that everyone that I take classes with since freshman year, everyone is going to be my coworkers or my fellow colleagues after I graduate. And I think that's just awesome because healthcare field is all about networking. You really get to learn a lot about what other professionals do, what they learn. So I really enjoy that. And now that I'm in my 3rd professional year, I've been taking classes with all pharmacy students, and you really get to know each other. We're a class of about 250 students. We really get to know each other. We do a lot of group projects together, and I just love that. It's such a welcoming environment. Everyone wants the best for each other. Everyone helps each other out. So I think that's why I chose to come to MCPHS.
Awesome. Thank you, Angie. And last but not least, Henning, why did you choose MCPHS?
Awesome. So just like the other two awesome panelists, I chose it because of the major that I'm in. So I'm in the pre-med major, and I like the fact that we're one of the only schools in the country in New England that has a specific pre-med major. I think it's a great mix between laboratory sciences as well as liberal arts and other electives, while still giving me all the prerequisites needed to go to med school. I think it's a very great mix between that. I also love how we have faculty mentors here that have years and years of experience teaching as well as mentoring and guiding students who want to go into the field I want to go into. So through that, I can learn from them, I can get something from them, and it's actually an awesome experience. And I, as the other two said, I love the location of MCPHS. I love being on the Longwood medical area and being able to walk outside, seeing Harvard Medical School, which is a great dream for many students in my major, as well as walk down the street and try and get internships as well as volunteering and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you, Henning. So we're going to dive into some questions from the crowd here. So the first one, I'm actually going to go to Angie, if you don't mind. So I know off the top of your head, but just answer as best you can. So Angie, how do you and other students manage their time? And if Henning and McKenna want to jump in, feel free to add on to that. But we'd love to hear how you balance your schedule with your work life and social life.
Yes, so I would say in the first 2 years, your classes are mostly general chemistry, general biology, organic chemistry. So you're taking classes with a lot of your other students. So what I did is I formed a study group. So we would study together, but in between, we would also socialize. We catch up on a lot of fun. So I think that was a good way to manage like social life with my academic life. And then once I became a professional student, I really tried to do what I'm passionate about. So a lot of the club and organizations that I'm part of is kind of like my hobby. Other than my studying, I love talking to patients. I love organizing these outreach programs and events. So I think that's a great way to have a good work-life balance that you enjoy a lot. Besides that, I love my planner. I always have my planner ever since high school. So I write down everything in the list of priorities, so that helps me keep track of things. I think those are ways I manage my time in pharmacy school.
Great. Thank you, Angie. And so we're actually going to go to Henning. So can you give an example of some of the support services that Angie had mentioned when it comes to how they can help you in class?
Yeah, of course. So that was another big reason why I chose MCPHS, and the same with a lot of my peers. There are so many departments and facilities available to catch you if you ever need help, as well as hold your hand through a lot of processes. And I know that sounds weird, but it definitely comes in handy. So some I've used come from the CASE, which is our Center for Academic Success and Enrichment. And through there, we have our academic coaches and our faculty mentors. The both of them, one of them helping you with more the professional side of your career, and the other one helping you with like classes and academic help and stuff. They can recommend the tutoring center, where we have free group and peer tutoring. We also have like a math and writing center. We have supplemental instructors for all the core classes, and these supplemental instructors are students who received an A. I was going to say A or higher, but obviously only an A in the class, and with that they can help other students, and they go to every single class and they hold a session once a week. That's my favorite resource, the SIs, because I have an SI session tomorrow night for an exam on Friday, and I know through there I can ask the student who received an A how they did in the class and what they did to study, and through that I can adapt my tendencies. In addition to that, the academic coach can recommend stuff like Angie mentioned, such as planners. They can help you find study groups. And once again, there is that peer and faculty tutoring as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Henning. I appreciate you drilling down on what the specifics are. So we've had some interest, and I know a lot of people are wondering, this is a medical and sciences school. Are the classes really hard? So McKenna, would you mind telling us a little bit about what the classes are like and your experience when you first came to MCPHS?
Yeah, of course. So as a freshman, you normally, like Henning kind of touched upon, you take those general prerequisite courses to your major. I think that it's kind of hard to say the level of difficulty. I want to kind of compare it to just if you know how to study, if you know ways you like do well with studying, I think it makes it a lot easier. I think if you have great time management and kind of just are really organized going into everything, I think you'll do really well. Henning also said there's so many opportunities for you to get help as long as all you have to do is reach out and say you need something. So I think that's really great for the classes. I know they can be intimidating, and I know going into kind of this healthcare driven atmosphere can also be intimidating. So I think that everyone just has to kind of have a positive look, like you guys can do this. We all have faith in you. Everyone is here to make you succeed and wants you to succeed. So I think keeping that mindset is really going to help you throughout your whole entire college experience, whether you're nursing, whether you're pre-med or PA. So I think it's just important for everyone to ask for help when they need, and everyone will do great.
Great. Thank you, McKenna. And I think the big takeaway for that would be that even if you're nervous about the science and math course or just going to college in general, the beauty of being on a campus where there's between 3,800 and 41 people is that you don't fall between the cracks. So the only thing that would not help you is not asking for help. There's so many services, there's so many different people here, and everybody wants you to succeed and stay at the school. We're not a school that's like, here's the midterm, here's the final, you need this grade, sink or swim. We want everybody to progress through the programs that they are in, and we want them all to graduate at MCPHS. So we try to support every student as much as possible with any need that they have, and I'm glad that our three panelists could touch on that. So we only have time for one final question. So this is going to go towards Angie. So Angie, can you tell us a little bit about what it was like living off campus and how you came to find where you ended up living?
Yes, so during the end of my first year, the MCPHS University had some information sessions for freshmen and sophomore students to come to like an apartment finding info session. So students would go and they showed you a timeline, a brief timeline of how you should, when you should start looking for your roommates, what are some things to look at when you're looking for apartment? When or how should you contact the realtors? So they kind of went over these information that was really helpful. So with that information, my friends and I looked for apartments nearby. And I still live 10 minutes walking distance from school. So that was a great opportunity. And then I know that a lot of residence assistants or RAs that you connect with while you live on campus, they also help out if you have any questions about living on or off campus. So those are great resources for students as well.
All right. Thank you, Angie. And for everybody out there curious about price range and commuting, since we do have a fair amount of commuting students, it's not hard for people to make friends. A lot of off-campus people live further away than maybe just 4 or 5 blocks. So they're able to make friends because all of the classes and labs are in one building, and so are the communal spaces. So you basically are seeing everybody walking past each other constantly day after day, and that really helps with community bonding. As far as prices for rent go, it is Boston, so not too many deals out there. I can't get into exact specifics because everybody has a different financial range. However, what it looks like is people get an apartment that's between a 2-bedroom and a 4 or 5-bedroom home, and the rent will be anywhere from $900 on the very, very low end for a 1-bedroom up until $1,500, depending on the type of housing that you're looking for. So again, it differs wildly, and if somebody prefers luxury condos, that's your prerogative. But for most students, they'll be in a house with 2 to 5 people, and each room, what they owe for a month, $900 to $1,500. That is what the housing situation looks like off campus for MCPHS. So that is it for all of our questions today. If you did not get your question answered, I apologize, but feel free to please reach out to the MCPHS admission office. Be more than happy to chat with you to answer any of those questions and concerns that you have. And we'd also be happy to put you in touch with some of our students if you want to actually hear from the people who are doing it day to day and not just the counselors. So thank you all so much again for joining us this evening. I hope you found it informative and helpful, and we look forward to seeing you around campus.